There's some Revelator songs that I'm like, man, we got to bring those back. But we've done so many songs and albums. There's like so much to choose from that I guess we don't think about it all the time.
We need to get you a really good slide player in Nashville, and you guys need to cover a Derek Trucks song.
You know, he told me Susan wrote the song, which he was proud of. He said that with great pride, you know, the way you say nice things about your family.
From the first note with Tedeschi Trucks, they just blow you away.
Yes, we will. I wouldn't argue with anyone that says that could be my favorite song on I Am the Moon.
He, signs my ticket, and I look over at Susan. I say, Susan, would you sign it too? And she goes, oh, heck yeah.
Kevin calls me and was like, hey, man, what are you doing? I was like, nothing. He was like, Derek wants to record some tuba stuff. I said, when do you want to do it? And he was like, let's do it Wednesday.
It was Midnight Harlem. And it caught our attention, man. And we started diving deep, and we're like, okay, we got to see these guys.
What's up? Welcome to the unofficial Tedeschi Trucks podcast. This is episode number, what are we looking at? 195 here. Hope everyone's doing okay out there. If you're watching, please subscribe. I appreciate that. Definitely like the video, share, comment. All of that's appreciated for sure. Please subscribe on whatever platform you listen to podcasts on. I'll definitely be putting out an audio version of this episode. Get that out later tonight, tomorrow. We're on all the things, Odyssey, iHeartRadio, Spotify, Apple Podcasts. If you want to support, patreon.com/TTB podcast. I should throw the link into that in the chat as well. And also I have in the episode description other ways to support as well. I wanted to thank Kathleen, Stacy, Troy, Daniel, Mariah, Bo, and Marion for being supporters. Means a lot. I also want to shout out Randy Bershaw of Weedside, the New York licensed dispensary in Woodside, New York. Definitely check that out if you're in the area. If you're in Woodside, if you're in Queens, definitely pop by Weedside. We have a special guest. I think we're ready to go here. We're going to be recapping the Beacon, the first three, and maybe I'll touch a little bit on Virginia Beach as well. But let's bring in a special guest, Alan Paul. What's up?
Hey, man, how you doing?
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. How are you holding up? You've been running around this whole year. You've had it seems from afar like a magical year.
Yeah, swing get a rolling stone gathers no moss. Pretty much how I try to roll. Yeah, I'm doing good because of all this stuff going on. Last night's the only night of this run I can catch. And the next two nights, Thursday and Friday, the 22nd and 23rd, my band Friends of the Brothers is playing after show parties at the Iridium. We're going to have, last year we had Kebby and Ephraim and Gabe play with us, and a bunch of the other guys just came and hung out. And I'm expecting some of the fellas to come in again, along with some other special guests like Peter Levin from the Greg Allman Band. And I told Brandon last night, if you come down this time, get up and play. Because last time he just had a drink and stood on the side of the stage. But so, yeah, it's a busy time, and I'm excited about it.
How was the show last night? Where do we even start?
Yeah, so it was cool. It was interesting for me. I brought my daughter, who just graduated from Skidmore College. She's 21. She was really into Tedeschi Trucks when she was, I don't know, maybe 12 to 15, something like that. And we went to a bunch of shows together, and she listened to a lot of stuff around, I don't know, Made Up Mind kind of era. And she was a little surprised by how many of the songs she didn't know. So I was seeing it through her eyes a little. She was a little disappointed with the set list. And she's a John Prine fanatic, which I'm very proud of. And she loves Angel from Montgomery, but I had to fill her in that they had played it the night before. So right. I wish just for her, we could have heard that because it's one of her favorite songs. But The show was good. There was a few songs in the middle. I mean, to be honest, I didn't love.
Hey, we're all friends here.
Yeah, I mean, I thought there was a little bit in the middle where I lost my focus a little bit. Just being honest, but there was a lot of highlights, and just more broadly, I thought that what was really pretty obvious to me right away is Susan really felt like playing. She was, really playing a lot of guitar, and I felt like the set list and a lot of what they did was focused on her playing, and I thought she played great. We know that her father just passed away.
I did see
And
that. I'm sorry to see that.
yeah,
Yes.
it felt to me like she was channeling her emotions very much into her guitar playing. And it was emotional, it was intense. I talked to Susan after the show, and I said something to that effect, and she seemed a little surprised. Like, she didn't seem to feel like it was I thought that the set list must have been like at the start of the night. She said, "I really want to rip on my guitar," but she didn't. I mean, just by the way she reacted to when I said that, maybe that wasn't the case. But that's how it turned out. And just look at some of the songs I thought were reflective to me of where she was, maybe emotionally. Like "Had to Cry Today," maybe the most obvious, and then "Fire and Rain" in the encore, which was just beautiful. I don't know how many people have experienced that. They don't play it all that often. I meant to go back.
I've been calling for that one on this show. It's on YouTube. I watched that multiple times already. But yeah, great Mark. Yeah,
it's obviously it's a highlight for Mark, and it's funny because I was thinking at the end of the regular set, like, oh, Mark didn't get a spotlight moment tonight, and I should have just kept my faith because he got it in spades. The song is an incredible version. It's based on a Bobby Womack arrangement of the song, which is really cool. I interviewed James Taylor maybe 4 or 5 years ago, doing a lot of research to get ready for that. One of the things I learned was that he and his manager, Peter Asher, had wanted "Fire and Rain" to be a single on that album, and Warner Brothers didn't agree. They didn't seem to really like it. And the Isley Brothers and Bobby Womack both, I believe, had their versions out and had hits with it before James Taylor ever released it as a single. And it was those hits that made Warner Brothers say, we might have missed the boat here and put it out. So, I mean, few people do. And I mean, honestly, I didn't before I did all this research, getting ready to interview James Taylor. But of course, I went and sought out those versions, and the Bobby Womack version is great. And I had a great conversation with Brandon last night after the show, and I sent him the version today. He didn't know it, so that was cool. But
really?
I mentioned to him. I said something to the effect of, you guys should play that more. You don't play that very often, do you? And he said, no, because we all cry. He said it can be hard to keep playing when Mark starts singing like that. Like the musicians themselves are losing their focus and on the emotion. But that's what he said. But it didn't sound like anyone was losing their focus. I thought they were really locked in, and the emotion, which is obviously coming from the singer, I guess, first, but it was there through the whole band, and that was excellent. That was definitely a highlight for me. And I mean, "Midnight in Harlem" for me always is. "I Am the Moon" was beautiful. I mean, there was a lot of great stuff, but "Had to Cry Today" I always like. "Just Won't Burn" I always like. "Gilded Splinters" was especially powerful, I thought. But first, if I had to pick a single highlight, it would be "Fire and Rain," and partly because it was such a surprise, and partly because I did feel, and I don't know how much I'm reading into it because I knew about this or whatever, but I did feel like it was invested with a lot of extra emotion because of what Susan's going.
Yeah, that's the reason that they don't do it so often, I guess, because it makes them so emotional. But I feel that way about so many of their songs and so much of their music all the time that it surprises me or it amazes me that they're able to sometimes keep focus, because they're all fans of each other too. And I could forget that Brandon is still a pretty young man. And I remember you telling me, and you often repeat the story, how when Derek, joined the Allman Brothers, he didn't know the music as well as you did, just from being a younger guy.
It's funny you mentioned that, because I've been going through my archives, and I have the first interview I did with Derek. Not the first interview I did with Derek. The first interview Derek did after he joined the Allman Brothers Band, I'm pretty sure, was with me for Guitar World. And I think that's what I must have mentioned to you before, that you were referencing it. He was asking me a lot of questions. He was really relieved when I told him that Warren hadn't gotten the tattoo, because he thought that he sort of had to get it like on day one. And knowing that Warren didn't have it was a little bit of a relief to him, which I think is funny.
But he got it.
Of course, he did, but he didn't get it until the very, very end. But yeah, so whatever, 15 years, after he joined. I just was reading that yesterday, and I mentioned it to Derek after the show, and he wanted to see it. So I thought, well, gee, I might as well share it. And so I have it all queued up, ready to go. I couldn't get it done quite fast enough to put up today. But so tomorrow on my Substack, which is, I think it's just alanpaul.substack.com. It's called Low Down and Dirty. You should all check it out anyhow. There's tons of stuff in there that will be of interest. But you're definitely going to want to see this. It will be up tomorrow. Yeah, there you go. Thank you. And tomorrow, right on top of that page, will be Derek Truck's first interview as a member of the Allman Brothers Band. I just was looking at it. It's pretty cool. I'm excited. I was going to send it. I was going to just like email it to Derek, and then I thought, well, wait a second. If he's so interested in this, probably other people.
You said it's an audio, and you have audio recording?
No, I don't have audio. That would be incredible. I actually,
okay.
I did digitize a lot of old cassette interviews over the last few years. That one has never surfaced. That would just be too cool if it did. And maybe it will someday. My archives are half very organized and half just all over the place, and it's not in the organized half. But that doesn't mean it's not in the all over the place half, and it might show up sometime.
Yeah, you're sitting on you're always sitting on tons of material and archives, and you've been at it for
so much. But I cleaned out. I'm always trying to get a handle on it. And the book projects always help me, because when I do a book, I go looking for stuff. And honestly, the pandemic helped me in terms of that, just because I had some time to dig in.
I feel like you're always working on so much stuff in the present and putting out so much content and sharing so much great stuff online. I don't think I ever really asked you, what are you working on next, or long-term projects, or what's kind of like?
I'm working on a couple of things. Every time, I've realized now I've had 3 to almost 5 years between books every time. And I kind of hate that. And every time I sort of say, I'm going to have the next thing like ready to be moving on by the time the book comes out. And I failed again on that front. And so it's going to end up being 4 or 5 years between books again, which really bothers me. But I'm wrapping up an updated version of my first book, Big in China. And that's sort of a labor of love. And Derek has a little role in that, because when I lived in China from 2005 to 2009, I think it was 2000, either 6 or 7, Derek came through with the Eric Clapton band, and he went to Shanghai. I lived in Beijing, and I went down to see it, and I did an article with him, and I spent a whole day cruising around Shanghai with Derek and Doyle Bramhall Jr. We had a great day. That's another one that I have lined up, and eventually I'll share on my Substack.
Not many people could have stories like that. A lot of people meet Derek in New York, or even in Europe, or even in Japan, but not many people have. Yeah. I hung out with Derek Trucks and musicians in China. That's
true. Well, you have to understand how excited I was for it myself. So first of all, just Clapton coming to China while I was there was exciting to me, of course. The Rolling Stones had come my first year, actually, and I missed it because I had to come back home because my father was really sick. And then it just lined up. So I was really excited to see Clapton anyhow, but I was really excited when Derek, ended up in Clapton's band. I mean, remember, I've known Derek since he was 12 years old. It was very, very exciting to me that he was in the band. Then when they were coming to China, I was just thrilled. So I was going to go no matter what, but you know, I got Guitar World to underwrite me doing a story and go down there, and I just had a blast. It was cool. And the show was amazing. It was, you know, Clapton to me can be kind of snoozy sometimes, quite honestly. But when he is fired up and inspired, he's just pretty amazing. And the band he had that tour was great. It was Willie Weeks on bass and Steve Jordan on drums, a rhythm section that really pushed him, and then of course Derek and Doyle. It was really cool. And I remember I was overwhelmed when they did Little Wing, because it was, you know, Little Wing, of course, is a Jimi Hendrix song that Clapton did on Derek and the Dominoes with Duane Allman, and then Stevie Ray Vaughan did a beautiful version of, and Doyle, you know, was sort of Stevie Ray's godson. And so to me, Derek and Doyle playing that song with Clapton was as close as we could get to Duane and Stevie playing it with Clapton, you know? And so I was, you know, this music to me, like when you're immersed in the history and everything, when it really is clicking, you feel like the spirits dancing. You know, I felt that big time at the Brother shows, and I felt it that night in Shanghai of all places. And watching, you know, it was really to me like Duane and Stevie and Clapton were jamming, and I was having sort of a moment. So
No, I get it. We all
yeah.
had those moments, and we all could relate to those moments that are special and those goosebumpy moments. Was Derek's dad on that Shanghai trip with them? Papa?
He was not. No, he was not. I don't think he was out with them with Clapton. Although maybe he was in the U.S. I don't know, because I was over there. That was the only show I saw. I didn't go see him anywhere in the U.S. or anything.
I've heard quotes and stories and anecdotes, even from your interviews, where Derek, I think, has talked about how much that collaboration with Clapton meant to his dad personally, and I think they went over to the UK, to England,
right? That's
initially right. When they were figuring out what the project or whatever.
That is correct. Now I'm remembering that. Well, remember, Derek is named after Derek and the Dominoes, so I mean, in a sense, he was named after Eric Clapton, and it was a powerful thing, and you know, it was. I mean, Derek to that point never really talked about rock heroes. You know, that I would talk to him, and he was always, you know, like he claimed to me one time that he didn't know the song "Call Me the Breeze," and I don't know if I totally believe him, but I guess, I mean, he was really, really steeped in jazz and blues. You know, he was much happier to talk about Junior Wells or John Coltrane than Eric Clapton or Leonard Skinner. I mean, legitimately. And I think that gig, you know, not only boosted his profile so much, but I think it really pushed him to look at that music that he sort of came out of but never really dug into. I mean, I'm not sure about this. I'm sure Derek did put in time somewhere along the way before that, digging into Derek and the Dominoes for all the obvious reasons. But I'm not sure he did into the rest of Clapton's catalog. I never had a sense of that. So I think that whole thing was really, really big for him. I mean, it raised his profile, it raised his confidence, although I'm not sure he really needed a confidence boost, but it did, you know, put him into a different place. And yeah, I think it was very significant in a lot of ways. And if you look now at how much they're playing, you know, the Mad Dogs and Englishmen stuff, they played Blind Faith last night. I mean, I don't think that side of Derek ever would have come out and been explored if he hadn't had that direct experience working with Clapton.
Yeah, that makes sense, and that's what sustains me so much as a fan of this band, is that you get TTB and all their originals and what they mean and the talents from those 12 members, but you're also getting all the covers and all this music that came before, the Allman Brothers and the Mad Dogs and all this stuff. You get everything. Like with this band, they're just the most eclectic thing going and out there, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, and now all these guys who are members of the band, you know, whatever they go on to do for the rest of their lives, and I'm sure most of them will be in this band for quite a while still. But whatever they do and other projects they work on, full or part-time or whatever, they are going to have that. They now have a connection to Eric Clapton. They now have a connection to Leon Russell and all this music, which I think is important and will help it carry on as well. Even Susan and Derek having some experiences with Phil Lesh and the Grateful Dead guys, that help. They can touch that material with more, I don't know, legitimacy or whatever word you might say.
Is that one of the Allman Brothers? Is that one of your Allman family?
No, it's my daughter.
Actual family.
It's my daughter, Anna, my actual family, saying, we got to go. So
brothers,
I got to
daughters, it's all family.
Yeah, this is the Paul family, not the extended family. But Susan was so sweet with Anna, my daughter, last night. We have pictures of Anna with her when she was like, I don't know, 11, 12. And I don't think she's 21 now. I don't think she's about to be 22. So it's been like 10 years since she's seen her. And, I reintroduced her to Susan last night, and Susan gave her just the nicest, biggest hug and welcome. And, thanked her for being there. So she's very, very gracious. And I'm sure that, anyone who's had experiences with her can testify. And it's amazing at these after show gatherings because it's a mix of people. I mean, everyone's there for some reason, but some are just friends of other band members or the crew or whatever. And she's so gracious to everyone, obviously her actual friends and family, but also to anyone she sees. And Derek is as well, but Susan's particularly just outgoing, I would say. So it's very nice to see. Not all bands, in fact, most don't, come and socialize after a show.
This topic comes up every week, and that's part
of
the
it.
reason
Would be
why
very easy for them.
how down to earth they are.
Yeah, it would be very easy for them at the Beacon to stay up in their dressing room and have the 5 or 10 or however many people that are actual guests of theirs that night come up to them. But they come down and mix it up. And I think everybody's respectful. I try to be. I did have an experience with them like 10 years ago that changed the way I do this, react a little bit. Kirk West, during the final Allman Brothers runs at the Beacon, had a pop-up gallery. And at one point, Derek and Susan and their kids were going to come over and see it. And Kirk asked me if I would run up and meet them and bring them down, both so they knew just where to go and also to provide a little bit of blocking for them. So, of course I said, sure. And I ran up and I did it and it was great. But so many, they just were trying to have a family moment and see this. And everybody wanted to take pictures with them. And they were incredibly gracious and they did it with everyone. It was fine. But it did make me look, I was looking at it from their eyes a little bit. Like I was getting annoyed with people, although they didn't seem to be.
I noticed that too. I've gotten running this little podcast. I get impatient, but then I see how they're so graceful and patient with me and with others. It's so amazing.
But it was interesting for me just to sort of be on that side of it, because I was trying to just like get them there and protect them a little bit, and I would have been more aggressive. With people, let's say no, this is family time or something, but they clearly weren't there. So, why would I be? It's not my place. So, it's good to remember. So, okay, I got to jump before my daughter.
Oh, do your thing for sure. I appreciate you popping in.
Yeah, of course. And everyone remember, check out my Substack tomorrow and I'll share it around and stuff, but you're all gonna get a kick out of this. If you could help me spread the word tomorrow, that'd be great.
Sure. How old was Derek during this interview that you're
he was 19.
Oh yeah, that's pretty young.
Yeah, he was 20 when he made his debut with the Allman. Well, he had played with them before, but when he made his debut as a member of the Allman Brothers band, he was 20. It was right after his birthday in June, and this was right before. So you could call him 20. It was just before his 20th birthday.
Cool. Yeah, we'll look out for that.
All right, good to see you, and I hope to see some of you guys at the Iridium Thursday and Friday night. There's Not too many tickets left. So if you're thinking about coming, grab a ticket because we
That's
sold
a
out
cool
last
spot. I've been there. Was I there last year or the year before? They all blend
year.
together.
It was last year. It was
Last year,
Yeah.
March, late Feb, early
Yeah.
March.
Yeah.
Cool.
All right. Good seeing you guys and good talking to you, fam, Tedeschi Trucks Band family.
You got it. Talk
And
soon.
See you all soon. Okay.
Take care.
Bye.
Later. So there you go. There's Alan Paul popping in for a minute. He was there last night, May 20th, for night 3 at the Beacon Theater. What's up, chat here? What's up, Cooking Marks GAS gas station? I'm sure that stands for something. Suzanne in the chat hanging. I'll pull up more stuff. Let's dig into some of this other music here. Just getting started, perhaps. All right, let's go back to TT. We're at ttbase.net, this amazing database that's been built. We're going to get these guys on soon, too, to talk about the website. But we got to go way, way back here to 16th Veterans United Home Loans Amphitheater at Virginia Beach, VA, Virginia. Let's click on this here. Yeah, you're welcome. That was super cool. Always welcome. I saw he was there. I reached out, and was able to pop in for a couple of minutes, and I just let him cook. I let him talk about. Not that I'm going to stop him, but I love that he just talks about whatever stories and anecdotes, and we got so much little interesting tidbits about the band and music and Brandon and Derek and all this stuff. So I always appreciate when Alan joins. Here's the set list from Virginia Beach. Stone Slide, Let the Good Times Roll, Who Am I, Future Soul, Fallen, I'm the Moon, Keep on Growing, Angel from Montgomery, Sugary, Yes We Will, Leaving Trunk, Anyhow, Midnight in Harlem, I Want More, Soul Sacrifice, Encore, Bound for Glory. Derek played his 65 Gibson Firebird V for the first time on the road since 2018. Exact date to be confirmed. That was on Future Soul. Yeah, he plays like different. There's some pictures of that floating around. Certainly, I think I saw that. Yeah, this is a stellar show. Let's see. We should check out something here. We got some videos. Let me know if these play or not. Let's see if you can hear this. You might not be able to hear this. I don't hear anything. Let's bear with me for a second. Let's see. Where is that coming from? I heard an echo. That's what I heard. That's not what I wanted. We'll get back to that in a second. Let's go back to this here. All right. Let's try this again here. We're going to stop share. And then we're going to pull share tab. Yeah. How interesting is this to everyone? All right. There we go. This is what song? I don't even know what this is, but let's see what it is. Mark Cormier. Well, Angel. If dreams under, like it was desired, this old house will burn down a long time ago. To make me an angel, flash from above me, make me a poster. Oh. Just give me one thing, Lord, I can hold on to. To believe in this living is just a yeah, that's pretty damn cool. I like that. That's from Virginia Beach. It says 416, but it's 516. I like that. That's cool. What else we got here? Oh, let me show you some more of the poster and stuff. Here you go. Can I? Oh no. Let's, I guess, stay here for now. That's pretty damn cool. I think this was a Jeff Wood Zen Mystic creation. I was looking at this picture before I was going to show Alan because he mentioned that he had the young yeah, he's talking to young, or his daughter had. I was going to ask him if he had a picture with his daughter when she was young with Susan, and then like one from yesterday. But this was cool. I've showed this on the show before. What it's Alicia and Bonnie Raitt years later. But I was going to. Oh, we don't need the poster. But yeah, cool poster for sure. You know what? Let me just pull up Tedeschi Trucks band. Yeah, Zen Mystic Studio. He's been on the show. Jeff. Oh, where the hell did this go? What happened? What happened? He's gone. Shut down his Instagram, or maybe it was an error. I'm not sure. But yeah, this is a cool poster for sure. Let's go to the first beacon. Go back to the first beacon show and look at that set list. That was on the set. Well, we got Buddy Guy also here. Susan on vocals, reaching around to play Buddy's guitar. There was definitely some videos that came out of that. That was on Damn Right I Got the Blues, and then Derek Trucks on Hoochie Coochie Man. Yeah, you got some videos of that. Buddy Guy with Susan and Derek. I mean, I could be here all day checking out all this stuff. But yeah, definitely go on YouTube and look at all the stuff you got with Derek and Susan. I'm a King Bee, and I Just Want to Make Love to You, all this stuff. But yeah, great set by Buddy. Doing it. How old is he? It's not a young man. But that's super special. I'm sure they created amazing memories and have been creating amazing memories playing these shows with Buddy in Texas and Beacon and whatever dates that he's 88 years old. Jesus. Look at this guy playing these big sets too. Impressive. Super impressive. Yeah, super cool. But here's TTB's set on the 17th. Future Soul, High and Mighty, Who Am I? Future Soul and Who Am I, of course, new ones. 1999 Circles and Passaquan, Looking for Answers. Let the Good Times Roll, Ain't That Something, It Ain't Fair. Kebby and Isaac, Jam, Until Let Me Get By. I think this show is on archive now. The archive.org. This was it Saturday? Saturday, right? Saturday. Cool. Where was I? Don't Think Twice. It's all right. Made Up Mind to close out the set. I Can't Make You Love Me. Show Me. I don't know where's the poster? Where's the poster? That's okay. Loading. There you go. That's pretty cool. Well, that's from poster for the first 3 shows. Rion Negro. I hope I'm saying that right. Reonegro. Yeah, this is a pretty one. Certainly very nice. It pops. I like that green. Lady Liberty. She's kind of a looker. Not gonna lie. Where was I? Oh yeah, the set list. Encore, I Can't Make You Love Me and Show Me. I mean, this is awesome set list. I was digging into it a little bit. What did I listen to? I was listening to 1999. Let Me Get By, jumping around a little bit. Should I pull something up here on the archive.org, or at least give credit to the person who posted it, who recorded the taper here? Let's see here. Oh, Asheville is up. Oh no, was that up before? Am I tripping? Was that's new? Some stuff's on the archive that's not on the interwebs, on the apps rather. Let's see here. I'll share that tab. Let's see here. I mean, this is all public internet websites. I think I could share stuff. I haven't really dug into the type caps, the tracks. Well, here's the listing here. Who recorded this? Or what does it say? Kenny Morris, taped by Kenny Morris. Well, and Mr. Soul, transferred by Mr. Soul. I've seen that name around. I forget who that is. I probably have talked to them either on this podcast or messaging or something. But yeah, Asheville's up. That's pretty cool. The makeup show. And then here you have you got BB's. You got all. I mean, this dude who did this show, Bootsy Jacobs. Thank you. I appreciate that. You got all of BB Buddy Guy set. Let's see some of you play a sample from something. You guys hear that? You hear that? Chat. Thumbs up. I don't know if you guys hear anything. Is it waking? Is it waking? Is it waking? All right. Well, I'll just play this and then I'll make dinner. I'll catch you guys. That's pretty cool. I like that. I like to cut it at a strategic point. Otherwise, we're just going to hear the whole song and we're going to get into it. I'm not going to cut it off mid-lyric. So you got to cut it off at a specific section if I'm just going to play a sample kind of thing. But I think that's good. I think that's a way to approach it. And probably it's best to only play short clips and trying to avoid getting sued. Bootsy Jacobs, though, I appreciate that. Certainly. For posting that show, but stellar set list. Can't wait to listen to the Passaquan 700 more times, or I have already, but yeah, nevertheless, 700 more times sounds good. Let's go back. I'll reshare the ttbase.net. Yeah, ttbase.net, alanpaul.substack.com, Weedside and Woodside, Queens. Support them all. Oh, you know what I wanted to share? Shit. Let me share it. I'll share it now before I forget, and then I'll share it again probably. But I created a link tree for businesses that are connected to our people. So here is my main link tree. Where you have all the links to the show, where you can watch all this stuff. I want to share this one, and I want to share this one here. If you want to support me on Patreon, I'll post it's in the description, but I'll post it as well in here. This is the posting links portion of the stream. So yeah, that's where you can support me. But I also wanted to share this one. I don't need to share because it's everywhere. But what I did want to share is this one here, TT Fan Biz. Support TTB fans and friends of the show. So I created this link tree. All these people have been on the show before. Tim Stevens, he's based out of the Atlanta, Roswell, Georgia area, owns a couple of restaurant and a steakhouse and brewery, a brew pub, and then of course Nick Patillo up in Buffalo with Starbuds, the dispensary, and a couple of other Italian restaurants definitely worth checking out. these people feed the band and I'll say maybe supply the band as well. Let's say. So then you got, of course, Randy, great fan. I have. Let's try to pull up some of his pictures. He sent me. I think he's at all. He said he's at all 6 shows. I think so. But he's got his Weedside and Woodside, of course, and then Frank Coons, who's been on the show as well. Settle Down Easy. His brewery has a couple of locations, and so I'm going to continue to expand on this. Maybe I'll make another link tree for like maybe nonprofits or causes or other services. I'm kind of sticking with this one for maybe more brick and mortar type businesses, restaurants, dispensaries, bars. This seems like a good way to organize this. But yeah, that's cool for me, and I enjoy supporting my friends and their businesses and people who love the band and support the band for sure. Where the hell was I? The 19th, that was the next show. Did we even look closely at the 17th? I mean, we could look at all these clips here. So much good stuff. Yeah. Did we look at this? I don't think I read this set list. We'd be tripping. Anyway, let's go back. We'll go to the 19th. The 19th. Yeah, Crazy Crying, Do I Look Worried, Darling Be Home Soon, I Feel So Bad, Here My Dear, Fallen Moon, Idlewind, State Trooper, Playing With My Emotions, Part of Me, Angels and Sugary, That Did It. I Wish I Knew How It Would Feel to Be Free. We'll get some stats on these. I'm sure people are out there cooking up the stats. Oh, I want to share the biz thing in the chat. Let's do that as well. And we'll also share this. And let's also say old young Derek Trucks article, old Derek Trucks article. How about new Derek Trucks, new from when he was, what do you say, 19? I think it's 19. Trucks interview. New, old. I mean, this is, I think this is Mike. Don't be confused by this. I think you guys will get it. New, then old in parentheses, young Derek Trucks interview dropping tomorrow. First interview as a brother. There you go. You can attach Suzanne's comment to my post right there. So then that's part of that. That's her. She wrote a caption too. Where were we? We were looking at the set list. Yeah, anyhow, Let's Go Get Stoned was the encore. Night 2 of 6 with Buddy Guy. Some of these got taken down. What the F? But they took them down? That's okay. Yeah, this is just an amazing set list. I mean, you could see some of the songs, some new ones popping up, but not necessarily new ones as in new TTV songs like Moon, but just songs that I think Darling Be Home Soon is at the debut this year for that. That Did It has only been played, I think, once or twice, or maybe that was the debut. Same thing with I Wish I Knew How to Be Free. Hasn't gotten that much play. I guess they haven't had that many shows yet so far this year, but great set list here. I like this one. I would have been pretty excited to go to this, to be in attendance for this particular one. Crazy Crying. I like that one. It already has the familiarness to it. I keep saying it sounds like, people say Signs or 2015, 2018 TTB vibes. Or what did Larry James say last week? He said it sounded, and I had the same revelation earlier in the day that we recorded, but it has a very meters vibe to it, New Orleans. And then he was hypothesizing that maybe that was Isaac's influence on the song, is that New Orleans vibe. Yeah, this is awesome. Fall In. I mean, I feel like, I don't know, when I look at these set lists, it's like, looking at all the different flavors of ice cream or something, or different choices, and just like it's all good. You can't go wrong with any of these songs. I'll try to get more guests on for Sunday. Going to recap the final 3 Beacons, same time, 7:30 p.m. Sunday. What do you think about the new songs? I like all the new songs. I think last week I said what they all kind of feel like. We said Crazy Crying was like Meters, old school, mid era TTB. Signs Let Me Get By TTB is Crazy Crying. And then Moon has kind of like a maybe Stonesy Americana kind of vibe to. I keep thinking of like Americana, the way it's like campfire kind of vibe to it. Maybe I'm still searching for how to describe that one, or I need to listen to it a few more times. But just hearing that at least a few times, it kind of feels like a campfire sing along Americana kind of vibe to it. And what was the other ones? The other ones were Who Am I? Who am I in Future Soul? Who am I? Who am I is a little bit Midnight. It's like Midnight in Harlem Light. Am I allowed to say that? A little bit. Some of the guitar, like I did comment, it sounds a little bit similar and similar vibe, but it's not as it's a different. The song makes you feel something else. You don't feel, and not in a bad way, or not. It's just different. All the songs in the set make you feel something slightly different, or very different from the song before and afterwards, and everything else within the set. So I do think, though, Who Am I has, sort of it's like a lighter Midnight in Harlem, but that's not in a bad way. It's its own unique tone, and I'm certain it's going to grow on me, and the song will grow on the band, and they'll expand it on the road more. And I need to listen to it more myself. And you said Future Soul. Future Soul people seem to like a lot. Upbeat rock, or kind of like a psychedelic. I think it has Jimi Hendrix. That's what I feel when I hear Future Soul. And not even just the guitar style and the sort of psychedelic nature of the instrument parts, the instrumentation. It's Susan's phrasing on her singing. Like I could hear like Jimi Hendrix kind of like doing like Crosstown Traffic. Is that maybe what I'm thinking? Like his like vocal sort of talky style a little bit. Obviously she's not doesn't have a talky style like that. But just some of the way the delivery and the phrasing of the vocal also reminds me of Jimmy, because he has a unique delivery style. Obviously people don't necessarily think of him as a singer, and I think he was self-conscious about people. I'm sure Jimi Hendrix experts know more than me, but I think there was probably some amount of self-consciousness with Jimi Hendrix when it came to his singing. I don't know his biography and his whole story off the top of my head, but he did say he liked Bob Dylan, and I think that was part of maybe that connection, was like, these guys who are not necessarily known for their vocal prowess, but still delivering melodic choices. They're still making melodic choices. If we listen to like some of those covers, Dylan covers, and then you go back to listen to the originals by Dylan, you can hear him making those melodic choices that other more virtuosity filled singers, powerful singers, did as well. They know melody. All right, where were we? Getting off track here. Let's look at the 20th, I guess. Keep the train moving along. Favorite Soul is my favorite soul. Favorite Soul is my future. Sun, Sand, Soul, Soul Sweet Song. Future favorite is my soul. No, Future Soul is my favorite. I think we're gonna rank the ones that have come out so far. Oh boy. I think you already know what mine are. Not necessarily. I would guess Crazy Crying is probably my 1, and then Future Soul 2, and then Moon 3, and then Who Am I 4. But when I say Who Am I 4, I'm saying that as a song that's better than any other song that any other artist is putting out right now, most likely. So so I'm not trying to give the short end of the stick to that particular song, and all these songs are going to grow on me more and more. But Crazy Crying has that. I love the meters, and I love those eras of TTB, and that seems to be what we, fans, what we think, how we vibe with it. The 20th. He was this was Alan's show. We kind of went through it already. DMSR making an appearance. That's kind of interesting. That's always fun. An upbeat one. And then midnight. You had 2 upbeats and a midnight in between. So they're very conscious of how these set lists are crafted, certainly. Like just looking at if we wanted to dive deeper into the dynamics of the set list itself and the context of the songs and the relationships with them and each other, like just seeing how, the upbeat ones, sandwich, like I was saying, DMSR, and then at midnight, and then Gilded. Like that's a journey. That's quite a journey right there. This is the section right here. I Am the Moon. I always love to see that. Time stops when I listen to that song, probably. But nevertheless, no, it's a special one. It's the most kind of like, it's one of the more heartbreaking, powerful songs on all of the I Am the Moon album. Something about that. Obviously, I say obviously, but like we talk about wanting to hear more of the I Am the Moon songs at shows. How they just can't do it all. Now they're adding new stuff, but when are they going to play Hold That Line? I guess is what I'm asking. No, they break it out once in a while. Future Soul. This is quiet. You got 3-song encore. That because they had a night off. I don't know. 3-song encore is cool. They should do a double encore. Do double, but I guess that's a pain in the ass to leave and then come back, and then people might leave, but keep the house lights down. They know the house lights come on, it's time to go. They ever turn on the house lights and then turn them back down, like really mess with people? Jokesters. We can look at what else should we look at? I think we covered a lot of stuff. I'm sure these shows have been amazing. We can look at some. Either Randy sent me some pictures. I could pull those up. Lol, that's mean. What did I say? LOL. I don't remember what I said. We're flying here. I was gonna look at maybe. We can look at Craig Oleski, Allman Brothers archivists. He posted some videos from the Beacon shows. Let's see here. See if I can get something going from that. This is here's Future Soul. All right, let's check that out. The house lights. Oh, it's mean that I thought it was something I said. Turning on the house. No, well, it's a good thing if they're teasing you. They turn them on and then like shows over, then down, and then boom, third encore. This is too many moving parts and totally unnecessary. That's better for like a music comedy show, maybe like something like that. You don't need to tease the audience per se. All right, let's check this out. Oh wait, hold on. Hold on. I need to unmute there it is. We're gonna refresh this and start it again. That's Future Soul. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. What else do we need to check out? Check out TTB's picks they posted some Beacon picks. Bradley Strickland, 1. right, let's check that out. This was from last night, marked our 60th show. So, but this was show. I think this was night 2. I'm bad at this game. Yeah, Susan's green Fender. It's pops, like you really associate with, like it's like an icon. She's an icon, and the guitar is iconic in our world. Just that color, like we could TTB fans could see something that color in our life, and we'll think of Susan's guitar. Just like it's that much ingrained. And same thing with anything related to a Gibson SG. Is synonymous with this dude. Trucks, cool shots here. Slide guitar. He's quite talented at that. That's a cool side shot. I've been there. Oh, should I cry while I'm looking at these photos? I'll be back soon enough. I know some of these people. I've sat on all the levels. I've sat here. Can you see my mouse? My mouse does share. I sat here. I've been kind of like towards the back, maybe in the orchestra. Loge front and loge back. I don't like being in the middle. I like to be standing in the back, last row, or in the very front, making everyone upset. But I guess you got to sit if you're in the balcony. And was it the mezzanine up there? I've been up there too. Brandon Boone. He's pretty cool, talented. What song didn't he know? He didn't know the Bobby Womack song. Yeah, that's such a cool version. I assumed it was the version that TTB does. Obviously when I heard it, but I wasn't sure if maybe there was some other version that Bobby Womack did it. But yeah, it's I like that version so much better than the James Taylor version. Not gonna lie. He's good at singing. She's good at playing guitar. Sweet. That looks cool. Everyone seems to be very pleased from what I've seen and heard with the lighting setup and the graphics and all this stuff. Like it looks good even in photo, let alone like live. Just that way that's slightly out of focus. I don't know if that's the camera doing that, or I don't know if that's the graphics. I guess probably both. Anyway, let's overanalyze this. What are they eating? I always want to know the details. You think he's faking it? He looks like he's like posed. Look, but Mark always looks like that. Their faces always look. He always seems to be upbeat. He has that energy. This is a cool shot. This is a mirror here. There was another cool mirror shot of Derek. I think it was Derek and Warren at that Sirius Studios, or I don't know. There's a few good ones. I like something about these like shots with the band members, and you can see the reflection. It's interesting. It creates an interesting viewing experience. Backstage jamming. This guy's cool. Gabe Dixon. He's a music man. He's an entertainer. It's just an interesting angle. Just like, I mean, I'm gonna analyze the photo, but the way the angle is sort of, or it's focused on Gabe, but there's still an interesting depth here. Strickland, this Mr. Bradley Strickland. I know. he knows lines. He understands lines. What's the word I'm looking for? Help me out. This is a cool shot. Sight lines. This is really a cool shot. This looks like this is something so timeless about this. Like you feel like this could be, doesn't this seem like it could be Allman Brothers insert year, like I guess classic theater. Classic theaters are timeless in the name classic. Sorry, having internet issues. It's okay. We've all been there. Suzanne in the chat. Beautiful picture here. That's cool. I mean, even the fact that he chose to shoot this in black and white, or even share it in black and white later. This seems like it's a clear choice. To something about the picture makes you obviously reflect on Kofi. You have to think of Kofi when you see Kebby playing a flute. I mean, he must think of Kofi every time he picks it up. I mean, especially on songs that are meaningful to Kofi's legacy, about Kofi's legacy, or have direct musical contributions with the flute, of course. Yeah, cool. Oh shit! I don't think you guys heard that, but I heard that. What else? I think that's pretty good. Did we cover it? Did we do it? We don't need to see that. If there's something on there. Sweet. Yeah, I think that's all I got. Unless, should we watch some more videos? Let's see what's actually on here. DMSR, give me back my wig from last night. Gilded Splinters. Oh, you guys check out all these videos. ttbase.net / on their videos page. ttbase.net / videos has they try to update it pretty damn regularly, just kind of compiling all of the most recent fan shot videos mostly, or whatever the band posts, all TTB content on the internets. I Am the Moon. Yeah, there's a ton of stuff there. I mean, this looks like most of the whole damn show last night. Except you can't hear that. I need to share tab. At Frazier's channel. All right, one more verse. You smile so big, like you were dreaming. You hope that you care. Sometimes it's hard to stay. Eyes you Yeah, guitar solo. I assume that's what's next. Love that pic of Kebby. Yeah, that's a good one. I don't know if you're behind. You might be behind because you posted that, and I was no longer showing that picture. But that aside, thank you, people, for hanging. Thank you, Alan Paul. Thank you, fans, TTB, band, crew. Definitely check out the link tree. I have that everywhere. It's in all my social media and episode descriptions, either on YouTube or on the audio versions as well. Weedside and Woodside, Starbuds in Buffalo, ttbase.net. What's up, Suzanne? Do you think Moon is left over from I Am the Moon? I don't know if it's leftover per se, but maybe it's certainly some sort of connection or thematically related. They're obviously acknowledging the I Am the Moon aspect of their band in some capacity by naming another song Moon. But what the connection is, I'm not totally sure. That is a good question though. Well, I'm sure we'll find the answers. We'll find the answers. We must know. Why must we know? Because we're all nutty. But we're all nutty together, so you're in the right place. Suzanne and Peeps checking this out. What else? I think that's pretty much all I got for today. Subscribe, like, do all those things too. That's appreciated. Check out the Patreon, whatnot. Yeah, well, let's talk Sunday. We'll do the Beacon last 3 recap. We get some more peeps on for that one. All right, y'all. Peace.